Hello, viewers. I'm Jane, the ultimate Filipina. Today, we're diving into a topic that affects travelers, expats, and immigrants alike. How the irresponsible or foolish behavior of a few foreigners can have serious consequence for everyone else. Whether you're traveling for work, living abroad, or just passing through, your image is often tied to the behavior of others who look or speak like you. And that can be both unfair and dangerous. Let's talk about real case, consequences, and how we can avoid being caught in the crossfire of someone else's stupidity. The reality of collective judgment. First, let's acknowledge something that most foreigners know but don't always talk about. When you're in another country, you're not just representing yourself, you're often seen as a representative of your country, culture, or even your race. It might sound harsh, but that's how human psychology works. People generalize, and when one foreigner does something dumb, like breaking the law, disrespecting local customs, or acting entitled, it often reflects badly on everyone who looks or sounds like them. Example, think of tourists in Bali or Thailand who ignore local customs, like wearing inappropriate clothing at temples or trashing sacred place for Instagram photos. One viral video of that, and suddenly all foreigners are disrespectful. Let's look at some real world cases where foolish behavior by some foreigners cause problems for others. Number 1, South Asia. In countries like Thailand or Vietnam, foreigners have been caught vandalizing sacred monuments, getting into fights, or disrespecting the monarchy. After a few high profile incidents, entire communities of expats found themselves under suspicion. Increased visa restrictions, random police checks, and locals growing wary of foreigners. All because if you couldn't follow the rules. Number 2, Middle East. In conservative countries like Saudi Arabia or the UAE, some tourists come in and ignore strict cultural codes. Public displays of affection, drinking in public, or dressing inappropriately. When they get arrested, it makes headlines. Then, entire foreign communities face increased surveillance and suspicion. Number 3, Europe. In parts of Europe, especially in smaller towns or village, immigrants and foreigners are often viewed with caution. If one person commits a crime, the media might not focus on the individual. They might emphasize their nationality. This creates an US versus them mentality, and innocent people pay the price. So, why does this happen? Why do entire groups get judged for the actions of a few? It's because of something psychologists call group attribution bias. Basically, people tend to assume that one member of a group reflects the values of the whole group, especially when they're an outsider. So when a foreigner messes up, the locals don't just see it as an individual mistake. They think this is how foreigners act. It's not fair, but it's real, and it affects job opportunities, housing, relationships, and safety for everyone else. Here's where it gets more serious. When foreigners see other foreigners acting foolishly and say nothing, we become part of the problem. Whether it's someone scamming, harassing locals, or abusing visa loopholes, turning a blind eye sends the message that we're all okay with it. But here's the thing, those actions come back around. Maybe not immediately, but over time, they create stereotypes, restrictions, and resentment. For example, I've heard of foreigners in certain countries being denied apartments or jobs just because their nationality has a bad reputation, even though they've done nothing wrong. That's why it's so important to speak up, even if it's just in your community or friend group. Holding each other accountable is key. So, what can we do about this? How can we avoid being implicated by someone else's foolishness? Here are a few things that work. Educate yourself and others. Know the local laws, customs, and what's considered disrespectful, and pass that knowledge on to fellow foreigners. Call out bad behavior respectfully. If you see someone crossing a line, say something. Don't let the reputation of your community go down the drain. Be the kind of foreigner that locals respect, respectful, humble, and open to learning. Build local relationships. When locals know you personally, they're less likely to lump you and with others. Real connection breaks. At the end of the day, being a foreigner in another country is privilege, and with that privilege comes responsibility. Don't let someone else's foolishness become your burden. We have to look out for each other. Real connection breaks. At the end of the day, being a foreigner in another country is a privilege, and with that privilege comes responsibility. Don't let someone else's foolishness become your burden. We have to look out for each other, not just for our own sake, but more the communities we live in. If you ever experience this kind of situation or witness it, share your story in the comments. Let's talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more real talk like this. I'm Jane, the ultimate Filipina, wishing you an ultimate day and ultimate life in the Philippines. Take care. Bye.